Sangita.
Jane, there is the most extraordinary setup here. We have military vehicles used in World War II spread across the park. People really enjoying having a look around. And you know, they're all privately owned by enthusiasts, one of whom is Jim Smith, a teacher.
Yes.
You do this for fun. Tell us a bit about this. This is a Guyam.
This is a Guyam made in Birmingham by the Go Motor Company. It was a vehicle design. It's one of 50 that were made. They had made 500 original, but 50 were adapted to go to Norway, and this is the only one of that 50 to have survived. It did travel through into Europe in the end in 1944, and it was with the 8th Army as it worked its way through Europe.
And you're saying the only reason it survived is because it didn't actually make it to Dunkirk?
It didn't make Dunkirk, unfortunately, because all the British vehicles, most of them were left at Dunkirk, which is a bit of a problem.
And quickly tell me, how do we get our boys back then?
We brought the boys back on ships, on little ships, and you'll be seeing in a couple of weeks' time the celebrations of the Operation Dynamo, as it's called, where the little ships went to Dunkirk and brought our soldiers back.
Lovely. Let's just move over here because I have to show you this. It's incredible. So Jim has also been collecting kit, military kit, and this is a kit of 2 serving officers. Incredible things here. We only have time for the highlights, which are...
Well, my favourite, well, you've got this little tiny sweetheart ring here. It's a ring that a soldier, when going from North Africa, would actually go to a bazaar and purchase, you know, for his sweetheart. They would send it home, and his sweetheart would wear the ring, so any other soldier who was in the mood, as we should say, would realise that she's taken and do the honourable thing and then leave her be.
I wonder how often the honourable thing was really done.
It was really done till the Americans come over.
Of course. And I just want to pick something out. You can't really see it on camera, but to tell you it's from North Africa, there's a rider on a camel.
Yeah, and it will tell you the date. It normally tells you where it is, whether it's Iraq or Iran or whereabouts they were.
Okay, now the other thing I have to show you are these. I don't know if you can pick them up, can you? They are chips from a casino, of course, with Nazi insignia. How on earth did you come by these?
Many things just turn up. I've collected this for many, many years, and it's all personal items owned by soldiers who served between 1940 and 1945. So I just find little bits and pieces. People phone me up, and they were from a casino in Berlin, and an officer had brought them back, and he's obviously been out, gambled, and brought them back as his little surprise or booty.
Yeah. Okay, very quickly, how much do you think you spent?
Ooh, about £90,000.
£90,000. Okay, very quickly, whilst we walk over, I want to show you these 2 things. These are 2 photographs that Jim has. He doesn't know who they are. If you think you know who they are, please get in touch with my next guest, Bob Gamble.
Hi.
From the Royal British Legion. You have been integral in organising these celebrations. How have the last 3 days gone for you, and what are your personal highlights?
Well, almost, if you don't mind, I'm going to work backwards, because you can hear in the background the applause of the general public for the veterans. And all day the veterans have received that kind of accolade, and the connection between the great British public and the veteran community has, as you can hear in the background, it's quite awe-inspiring for the day. The British public get the veterans, bearing in mind that these are people from their own communities who 70 years ago kept Britain afloat when they were at war. That I think is the key highlight of the whole weekend, is the connection between the people and the veterans themselves.
There's very personal stories of what they went through and how they won the war.
Yeah, I mean, every time you listen to a man or a woman and the story they tell, clearly it's humbling, particularly if you understand the deprivation they were living in and the hardship they were living with, and how brave they were in a matter-of-fact kind of way. Yesterday, of course, last night, the Royal British Legion concert on the BBC, fabulous and interesting that not just the veterans loved it, but everybody who attended loved it, and I understand most people who watched it at home. You know, who'd have thought Chaz and Dave would have a revival? It was just a fantastic evening.
And Bob, you were saying VJ Day is next. That's next on the agenda, a couple of weeks' time.
August the 15th, because it's worth remembering that, you know, Churchill was quite clear when he announced victory in Europe that there were still people fighting, and 3 months later, we need to recognise them too.
Bob Gamble, thank you very much indeed. Congratulations on incredible 3 days. I just want to show you these pictures once more. We don't know who they are. Jim would very much like to find out who they are. If you think you know, Jim, what school do you teach at?
I teach at the Plume School in Morden, Essex.
Plume School in Morden, Essex. You can write him there. He's a teacher. Do get in touch. Back to you, Jane.
Sangita.